Hey.
Hello there.
Hi. I'm gonna turn you up a tiny bit.
Oh, I was talking softly. That's my apologies.
That's fine. I just need to adjust it if you want to talk quietly.
No problem. Now, there is a sign that goes with this.
Unfortunately, because of the page that we're gonna be on, the sign isn't gonna fit. But I can put it on for now because there are 3 things to talk about before. Hi. By the way, people who generally don't catch every single one of these Record Keeper streams, this is Crom.
Hello.
You may know him from RPG Night and various other things.
I'm here to give bad opinions. But the good thing is they're just slightly a bit better than newbies, so they're worth their weight in gold.
Yeah. I have messed up thinking of relics. Chrome is going to give a more general thinking. Anyway, I did have this thought, and it's a good thing to go over. The 3 lucky draws. I'm going to try and get this video of the banner review up before the end of the day.
Okay.
So it's good to talk about the 3 lucky draws. I think, well, okay, so it's first. The first one is Curaga lucky draw.
Yes, it's pretty much the healing banner. It's Curaga plus level healing items. So if you're low on medicas, or you think you might be able to pick up some things in realms you don't have some access in, it's not a bad thing to do. People who've been around for quite a while and have done a lot of pulls, you're probably sitting in the same boat I am, where you have like a third to maybe half of the items on here, and it's kind of in the range. So if you have the mithril, go for it. If not, you can pass on it. It won't be the worst thing ever.
But there are, like, the other thing is that there are a good number of USBs on here and
yes,
stuff.
There are some excellent things on here, and there's a couple things on here that are kind of stinkers too.
Let me see. I can actually count. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 11 USBs on here.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 3 chance to get a USB. There's a very good chance you pick up a USB if you do this, but there's also a chance you go like, I'm trying to think of one that's not so great. Holy Rod 11. Holy Rod is Vanille's Penelo's SSB. It does 3 hits to the enemy and heals you for Curaga level heal. It's okay, but it's not worth 25 mithril. So be careful on it. If you want to take the risk, go for it.
There are some stinker of SSBs on there. But still, even a stinker is still a medica.
Exactly.
If you're having trouble with Sid missions and stuff like that, they can still help you out in the long run.
Yeah, if you're missing like 4 or 5 or even 6 realms in here, like you don't have any healing at all, go for it, because you might pick up something in there. Even if it's not great, even if it's that Holy Rod I just talked about, that can get you through a Torment dungeon.
So that's the first one. That's for just today, the 23rd. Tomorrow is BSB, Lucky Draw.
Yeah, BSB only.
Only BSB. Every item on the banner is a BSB. That's a great That's a great lucky draw to pull on.
Yeah, it's again, it's one of those things. If you have a ton of BSBs, maybe it's not the best thing ever, but BSBs usually are your best options to get elemental boosters, Omni Realm elemental boosters. Not anything that's record synergy locked. So I'm gonna do it. It's a roll of the dice. If I get something bad, whatever.
Yep. And some bursts are completely busted.
Oh yeah. Again, if you're looking at the 3 lucky draw banners and you're going like, which one do I not want to pull on and stuff, it's probably a toss up between either the healing one or the BSB only one. So make your choice from that.
Christmas Day, 25th, has 6-star lucky draw.
Yes.
Every item that you pull is a lucky draw. So in the worst case scenario, you go 1 and 6, or 1 and 11 6-star item.
Yeah. Even if you only go 111, you're still going to be probably getting some sort of a stat stack.
Yeah. For reference, a pull on a normal banner, any run-of-the-mill banner that isn't a special banner, is usually a 3% or 2% chance at a 6-star.
Yeah.
It's great. And, like, even worst case scenario, you get a dupe. It's still, like, you keep those separate, and it's real dumb. If I had, like, 2 of I'd be upset at first if I had 2 of Ferris's coat, but that's still my best light armor in the game.
I have 2 of Gladio's OSB swords, which are any realm fire boosters. I did not combine those things because having 2 6-star fire boosting swords sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Even if you get dupes of them, they're still amazing.
A lot of 6 stars have like some really good elemental boosters on them. Some of them have some really weird elemental boosters on them that only work in Realm, but in Realm it's fantastic. For instance, what's her face? God, Shantoto. Her chain boosts all 3 elements of the main elements, but only in Realm.
I think Kane's 6-star armor, I think it's for his OSP, I could be wrong about this, has like triple elemental protections on it and Realm. So it's one of those rare, if you can get the protections on this, you can really like work around a bunch of different weaknesses and such.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of those can apply in things like, say, what are they called? Crystal Tower, or all those various things. Like, always remember, you say, okay, but like, when are we going to have an 11 event? Well, remember that in Crystal Tower, somebody gets synergy just for being in Realm on all their equipment.
Exactly, which is why some of that stuff is very useful.
And things like, if you're still getting through them, the Nightmare Dungeons.
And, you know, various other events that are happening. So even though something might have just Realm synergy on it, we get more help for that than you might think.
Mm-hmm. But, for now...
Banner time?
See what it goes down for me on this lucky draw that I've been staring at.
I'm ready to be disappointed.
I got a 1 in 11.
I should have stepped out. My luck is not great for other people on these.
Who knows? I blame this on you.
You really should.
Well, it's the best SSB medica in the game.
It is. It loves you that much.
For reference.
Don't you have like a 20-star of that by now?
I have an 8-star of that already. Well, there are certain items that love me so much.
The sad thing is, if I had gotten that, I would have been thrilled to pieces because I don't own that.
Like, my 5 platinum swords.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, newbie. Oh, this is totally my fault, everybody. You can blame me 120%.
Oh well. No, to be fair, what's it called? Grand Blue's been handing out free rolls this week, and I have so far gotten a gold unit and 2 gold summons, which are rare. That's not supposed to happen in about maybe 50 rolls. So that was it coming back to me.
Goodness. Anyway, let's jump onto the banners.
Yes.
Once you pull up the things. Now, the banner talk here, folks, is going to be, as he's getting stuff set up, it isn't going to be as perfect to show you every single thing that it does. It's going to be the pictures of the items, probably, and we'll talk about what they each do.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Crap, I had something in mind for this, and I can't remember now.
Newbie's going to give you the general rundown of each item. I'll probably pop in to say this thing has, like, it has an elemental booster in every realm, or it's really useful for X, Y, and Z reason, or this is a drop. What's up?
Give me a decent video game soundtrack.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm not gonna be able to listen to that a record keeper song for like the solid time. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. Let me just get that.
Get that going in the background.
Yes. Okay. So let's pop over to the intermission.
See, newbie, you scared a couple people off of pulling on the healing banner. You helped them.
I saved you. Okay. Boop. Okay. So, we don't have the extremely detailed posts like we normally have. I think Sandslice is just extremely busy with the holidays and what have you. Or I think he might have fallen off from doing these detailed things and somebody else is taking care of it and they just didn't do the whatever. We have this, and really all this is missing is explanation for EX modes and explanations for BSPs. That's about it. So, the big thing about this festival is each banner is themed around elements. The first one is entirely fire, with a droplet of various other elements mixed in there. First up, we have the Zwill crossblade for Locke, which is his chain, his fire chain, that also does a defense resistance down 50%. That's good. It's a chain. Chains are great. Krill's red scorpion is also a chain, except attached to a mage, so it has quick cast 2 to the party, as the mage ones generally do.
It's a chain attached to a chain, because that's a whip.
Nailed in one. Rayfa's Metal Knuckles is a 10-hit fire non-elemental. I think that gives her a quick cast 1. Infires gives her high critical, because that's Rayfa's whole gimmick, and gives her a super mode called Flaming Love, which is quick cycle fire. So if she uses a fire move, she gets quick cast. So that, like most of these USBs that do that, is going to chain into itself to ridiculous points and just go real hard as long as you have the hones to keep up with it. Probably whatever you are fighting will die long before you run out of hones with how fast she's attacking. Lux Gladius is a overflow. It's whatever. It hits fire and holy, which is nice.
And it has a short cast time, too.
It has a short cast time. Probably a lower multiplier due to that.
One of the odd things about Lux Gladius, though, is the Gladius is a Omni-Realm Holy Booster. Why it's a Holy Booster and a Fire Banner? Don't worry about that. But the important thing is, it hits 2 elements, and that's nice.
It's an extremely good point. I mean, I bring Locke to Ice Magicite. That's because he's my Imperil. But if I had this, just to like tag the boss at the end, that'd be nice. Papalymo's Lilith Rod is a pretty strong BSB. I think I can recall this off the top of my head. But so aside from the 8-hit single target intro and the Infire, I believe Command 2 is a mag resistance bargain.
Yes.
And then the Command 1 is... Does it start at 2 or 3?
Starts at 3.
Okay, it's 3 to 6 hits, mattering on your magic, and he's one of the higher thresholds, right?
Yeah, he's not the highest, I think that's Adia, but he's the middle of the 3.
Yeah, between Maria and Adia.
Yeah. It's a very strong BSB. I'd be very happy if I got that.
Yep, it would really help with this tournament.
It's also a fire boosting rods, which is, great.
Can't get enough of those. Hey, with Meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
Ida's Kaiser Knuckles are an 8-hit single target full breakdown. Fire-based. It doesn't infire her. She loses like a DPS element to get that full breakdown, but that full breakdown on not a support is real useful.
Yep.
The commands are weird, but I like weird commands. I like weird gimmicks on BSBs that make them unique. So Command 2 gives her a 30%. This is what I should be doing. I should be highlighting these.
No, I got it, man. It's a 30% spin.
No. I should be highlighting the ones to note which one we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
it gives her a 30% stone skin. And the reason for this is her command 1 is Snap Punch, which gives her Grease Lightning, which increases her damage and casting speed for each stack that she gets, and she can stack up to 3. But if she gets hit, she loses all of her stacks. Well, specifically, if she takes damage, she loses all of her stacks.
Exactly.
So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to balance her having that stone skin, which is why her command 2 gives her a stone skin. It's a little harder nowadays, what with fixed damage and piercing attacks being very prevalent. But if you can get those 3 stacks going, she moves stupid fast.
I actually have these BSB gloves, and they are a plus fire glove, and that Yida destroyed Garuda for me. She just absolutely tore her to pieces.
Yeah. That stuff can really go off really well. Speaking of something that we have and destroys Garuda, Rafa Shura gloves, which, even though they're called gloves, they are a bracer, not a fist weapon.
Yeah, they're knuckles.
That said, I believe they do boost fire, so there is that.
They do.
It is a 6-hit fire intro. I believe it's actually ranged too, which is really important. Gives her
yes, they're ranged.
Yeah, which gives her critical plus 50% and in fire. Her command 2 is a attack defense bargain, 2-hit AoE. Command 1 is a 4-hit with a increased crit damage if you crit. Command 1 synergizes really, really well because of that with Cloud USB to get that 100% crit chance or anything else that gives boosted crit chance on top of her self-crit. The real big thing about this is that in fire and the boosted crit can do some real crazy stuff for you. With the adjustments that they've made recently to Fires Within, it's a great choice to just, burst and then use Fires Within. And the reason that I emphasize that the burst entrance is ranged is because Fires Within is also ranged, which makes Rafa this really weird ranged monk, if you want to.
Yep.
Now, the commands are not ranged, so there is that. But, yeah.
For her BSB? No, her BSB commands are ranged.
They are?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Well, Rafa, the ranged monk.
She's got a pretty wicked combo of her BSB and her USB. Many characters have pretty wicked combos of BSB plus USB, but hers is... She just starts chaining things and going crazy if she has 2 bars to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an enormous amount of fire damage. She's actually very similar to the Master Monk in terms of what her USB and BSB does, is it gives her crit fix on both parts, and then she just goes to work.
Hey, help me out here. What does high critical mean? Is that...
I think high critical is the thing that the critical does more damage.
Critical does 100% instead of 50%.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's also what her command 1 does anyway, so...
I'm just saying that it gives
that was,
options.
So the one thing that the ability buff did to Rafa is it made her command 1 worse. You pretty much have to crit on every hit of the command 1 to make it as good as, or better than using, or maybe it's like 3 out of the 4 times, but you have to hit a lot in order to make it better than using Fires Within.
Yeah.
Since Fires Within is 4 hits now.
Yeah, but it gives you long-term, duration while
exactly.
you're doing it.
If you run out of Fires Within, you can switch to the command 1, so that's always still very nice. Krill's Ashura's Rod. I wish we had the names of the moves here, because I really like the names of breaks.
Oh, I can pull that up for you, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Krill's Ashura's Rod. It's based on the verse Tomorrow's Promise. The command 1 is Ignis Fatus. I don't know how to say that, so I'm going to go with Fatus because it sounds funny. Which is just a 4-hit and can cause stun. And then the other one is Eruption, which is 2 group attacks, which can cause slow.
Yeah, so
this is old.
Krill trades damage to be able to inflict status effects, because she doesn't have a bargain, and her command 1 only hits 4 times. So she's not going to do as much work as Papalima, but she's still pretty consistent. And if something is weak to a status effect, she'll hit it. The stun...
It's an old burst.
Yeah, it's older. That's the big thing. But that Command 1 having stun, there are some Ultimate and Ultimate Double Pluses that come around that are vulnerable to stun. And you'd be amazed at how much work that can do.
It saved my bacon a couple times. Heck, I used that in the Magicite fight against Sea Lion.
There you go. Vivi's Gravity Rod. What's that one called?
This one, the burst is called Magic Fury.
Okay. It is a AoE, Fire, Lightning, Ice, that gives a mag res 30% to the party, which, that's fantastic. A buff that is not on, like, a support or a healer is super good, because it makes you not have to juggle everything that way. You can
Yeah, the commands, I got that. The command 1 is called Glimmering Hope. It's a fire, lightning, ice move. It hits 4 single times to one target, so it's good for tagging a bunch of different elements, but it's probably focused more on the fire side. And then the second one is Shining Spirit, which is fire and non-elemental damage. It's a magic bargain. It hits everywhere for 2 times.
Which defense is it?
It says Magic Bargain, so I'm pretty sure it's Magic Defense, because if it was Magic Res, it'd break his thing that he gives from the burst, wouldn't it?
Very possible. No, because the if it raises one and lowers another, that's a unique ID.
Okay, well.
But if it's Magic Bargain, it's probably defense, because Dark Bargain is defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, similar to Krill, VV trades damage for a bit more versatility, creating multiple elements without, prioritizing one over the other. Give me one, I gotta take a drink of water.
It's good. That's pretty much the best way to put it. However, his BSB2 rod, it only gives a fire booster in Realm, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, you would think it would do a little bit more than that, but what do you do, right? Vraska's High Summoner's Longstaff. It's 8-hit, Fire, Lightning, Non-Elemental. In fires, it is summon magic damage, and I have no idea what the commands on this are.
So the burst is called Trine Summoning. It's a lot like Yuna or Garnet's summoning thing, where it has like this power up thing. So if he uses command 1, it's the Ifrit one. It grants Lingering Spirit to the user for 20 seconds and grants Summon Ifrit to the user. If they use command 1 again, it gets 4 group attacks with a minimum damage of 1100, and it also has a very powerful boost to it. So it does a huge amount of fire elemental damage across all the enemies. The second command is Eternal Prayer. If it doesn't have the Ifrit boost, it does 4 single attacks, each with a minimum damage of 1100. However, if it has the Ifrit boost, it does 5 single attacks with a minimum damage of 1100. And I should note that all of the damage on this is fire and non-elemental.
It has that lightning. It has that lightning just for the intro, and that's about it. I saw this just the other day, but damned if I can tell you what it actually does on the commands. Scott's Wild Rose is an 8-hit, single target, fire, physical, non-elemental, and in fire Scott. But yeah, what are the commands do? Because I have no fucking clue.
So the burst is called Scathing Sun. It's pretty cool because this like ball of sun energy comes down and falls into Scott's pommel and then burns into the actual sun sword, which is pretty darn cool. Command 1 is called Mark of Destruction. It does fire non-elemental damage. It hits 3 times and grants Spellblade plus 15% boost to the user for 3 turns, which is something you'll be seeing a lot more of in BSBs of this variety. The second one is Fiery Vanguard. It's 2 AoE hits and gives the user Dark Bargain. And as mentioned in the chat, because people pointed this one out, the Mage Bargain is plus magic minus defense. So that has been confirmed.
Figured. Yeah, so it's really good with Spellblades. It synergizes super well with Blazing Twin... God, that's going to take a while to get used to still. Blazing Quad Strike. And even if you want to, because it does non-elemental damage, and we did this in a multiplayer video, it synergizes super well with Flare Strike. you can get a good, like, over 20,000 damage with Flare Strike in this.
Yeah, it was a surprising amount of damage getting pumped out from Scott. I think this is one of those bursts that kind of makes the character able to do what they're supposed to do compared to just being useful overall. So if you get this for Scott, really look into see if you want to use him more often. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Braska's BSB staff, Rod, whatever it is also a fire booster.
Out of realm?
Out of realm, yeah. If I'm only going to be mentioning if they're out of realm boosts, probably.
Okay. Ace's summer uniform is a 6-hit, single target, fire, instant cast, party physical blink, which is... I love having physical blinks. Like, I love just having stuff that aren't on exclusively healers or supports. Because it means I can do a thing that helps the party, and I don't have to slow down my defense at all. And especially one that, hits 8 times. It's just good. But again, this is another one of those that I could not tell you for the life of me what the commands are.
Well, the burst is called Firaga RF. The first command is Fire Bomb. It's 4 single target attacks, but it's 5 if the user is in the front row, so good luck putting a squishy person up front like that. The second command is Fire Shotgun. It's 2 group attacks and gives Lingering Spirit to the user for 20 seconds.
Wait, what the hell is Lingering Spirit?
I'm looking that up right now.
Well, yeah, okay, this is all coming back to me. His BSB.
Oh, Lingering Spirit is magic up, res down.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Oh, you know what? That's, what's his fuck's command? Reigns. That's his BSB2 command, Lingering Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have his BSB, so I don't know this.
Oh, right. That's weird.
Just gonna throw that one out there. Eternal Torment.
So it's decent. I really dislike the putting the mage on the front row. Maybe if Ace was a bit tankier, I wouldn't hate it so much. But he ain't. He can't really take a punch.
If you're up against an enemy that does all physical attacks that are like single target and can be taunted, then yeah, it's okay to put him up there. Otherwise, it's just...
Or for example, I mean, like, you wouldn't take him to the 300 because of conditions, but he'd be good for Garuda. Garuda deals all magic damage.
Yeah, and I know I'm poking fun at him. He is a little bit more sturdy than most mages are, but he's still a mage, and in my mind, it's still one of those, like, I don't know if I necessarily want to have you on the front row. But if you can get away with it, go for it. Mm-hmm. He's probably in the same build as, like, Ashe, where they're reasonably durable.
Yeah. Or, I think Reigns is actually pretty durable, too.
Yeah.
And then each banner has 2 legend materia on it, and these are both pretty standard. There's one for Locke, there's one for Krill. They are both start the fight infired. Krill's obvious, very good, because she can synergize that into Chain Firaga, into Meltdown, into any of her breaks. Locke's, right now, only chains into his breaks. Eventually down the road, like fucking 5 months from now, because I think Japan just got it, they give us one of those thief dagger moves that hits fire.
He's got shooter.
Yeah, he also has shooter. Fucking God. Locke's an okay character. Locke's a pretty decent character.
Also, both of those legend materia records, which I will never say right every single time, just putting that out there, they are both fire elemental boosters.
Nice.
In any realm.
And they're both armor, so yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, which is very nice. This is a pretty good banner. If you're looking for some fire gear, or looking for certain types of fire gear, like if you're like me and you don't have a fire boosting rod or a second fire elemental boosting armor, this is a pretty good banner to pull on.
Yeah. That pretty much is the gist of it. If you need fire, pull on banner 1. It's the only banner that is exclusively 1 element. Okay, so now here comes
Except for the next one.
Wait, the next one isn't 1 element.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah, it's all earth.
Oh, okay. No, Bart's knife is on there.
Shut up, movie.
I'm actually gonna. I'm seeing this now. I'm just gonna remove the bit cup just for now, since that is taking up the whole screen.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, here comes the move where I have to like adjust this correctly.
If you have motion sickness, look away.
Ooh, nope, this ain't gonna work. Oh, this is so not working. Did I get it? That's good enough. We're getting a preview of the next one. Okay, so first up is Ignis's Rune Axe. It's pretty simple. It's 11 single target hits, and Earth Chain, and Guts to the party. That's actually the real thing that I really like about that. I was able to do some really goof strats using this on Diamond Weapon, this past Crystal Tower. I actually had a test run of this where I was able to eat Diamond Flash, time this to go off, and then eat a second Diamond Flash. Super nice, really good. Probably one of the stronger chains out there just because of that last stand.
Yeah, it's one you don't think the last stand's going to be useful, but it's nice to have that on as like the ace in the hole, so to speak.
Yeah. Sadly, I don't think the axe boosts outside of Realm, right?
But yeah, it's only a Realm's energy booster.
Yeah.
But hey, that's fine.
That's fine. Platinum Hammer for Galoof is actually just USB, but it's attack mag 30% to the party and haste, and it unearths him, which synergizes fantastically with monk abilities. All in all, if you tell me that there is a Onion Knight buff that allows me to also deal a little extra damage on the side, yeah, okay, that's alright.
This is one of those, like, glass half empty, half full thing. The Platinum Hammer is an Earth booster, but it's a hammer, which is frustrating. However, a lot of the Earth people can use hammers anyway, so it's not as bad as you'd think. So it kind of is a trade-off.
Mm-hmm. How many knights can use hammers? There's a question for you.
A couple. Ingus can. Gladio might be able to. I don't know about that one. Oh, he cannot. No, thanks, chat. You're right on the same boat I'm on. But Ingus can, and that's really all I care about. And I think a couple of the Sids. Oh, Gilgamesh can use friggin' everything.
Yeah. The reason I emphasize this is because pretty soon we get Earthbringer, which is Guardbringer but Earth.
Yeah, that hammer, it's good. I'll be happy to have it, but it's not like the highlight of the thing on this for me.
Yep. Which, speaking of which, the highlight for a lot of people is probably the next one.
Yes.
Bart's Chicken Knife. I don't even need to look up this EX mode. It's 10 single target hits, multi-element, quad elements. Gives him quick cast, attack plus 30%, and spell blade barrage, which is anytime you hit with a spell blade that is wind, water, fire, or earth damage, he does a follow-up of either 2 hits. Is the 2 hits AoE? I think it's single target.
I think they're all single target.
No. I think you're right, actually. But it's either 2 hits or 8 hits. Yeah. Single target follow-up that has a much lower multiplier, but is free damage for you and helps with chains. And especially when he is hitting 4 different elements with that shit. Yeah, no, it's extremely versatile.
It's stupid how useful this thing is. Bart's can't break damage cap like Cloud can, but in some ways he doesn't need to because the damage just stacks up.
Yeah, it's supremely gross, and you combine that with the fact that there is a dual cast record materia for Spellblade. His dive gets him a triple cast record materia for legend materia for Spellblade. And does he have a double cast on his legend record materia armor?
I don't think. No, his double cast I thought was his the capstone ability of his.
Oh, the legend record materia is the triple cast. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can get double cast from his dive, triple cast from his armor, and then also double cast record materia.
Yeah, there's like a 1% chance if you have all those on that he can hit 4 times or something stupid like that.
It would be quintuple because it would be double double.
Yeah, you're right.
It'd be one.
He
for
hits
the,
a lot.
One for the normal, 2 more hits for both of the doubles, and then 2 more hits for the triple.
The point I'm getting to is Bartz can be stupid.
Bartz is dumb. Bartz is real dumb. I really hate jumping on bandwagons of things that are super popular, but I have to admit that this is like supremely good. Next up on the list, though, is Tifa's God Hand. It's an Earth Overflow. That's it.
Yeah. If you have other things for her, like something that gives her an Earth, and you start chucking that thing around, yeah, it's going to do some work, but by itself, it's not exactly incredible. There's nothing really else to say about that.
It really isn't. Next up is Tifa's Kaiser Knuckles, which is a BSB. It's 8 single target, Earth non-elemental, and Imperil Earth. I want to say off the top of my head, the commands here are pretty standard. I think Command 1 is a 2-hit AoE, Command 2 is a 4-hit single target.
See, that would be her first BSB, but I believe this is her BSB 2, which is introduced on this banner, and this is called Rolling Blaze, which does Earth damage. The Command 1 is 4 hits, nothing super special. The other one is the Dance of Carnage buff for like Refia.
Oh, so it's a bargain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, so she becomes Earth Refia.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's a nice little thing, and also it's a nice counterpoint to her first burst, so she has an Earth on one and Imperil on the other.
Yeah, alright, so Earth Refia, except instead of getting a crit buff, she does Imperil Earth. So, better for Magicite, pretty much.
Also, and I forgot to mention this, I think the 4-hit is at ninja speed, so she's very quick off the mark.
Shit, yeah, that'll do...
I think both of them are, actually. Yeah, both of them are at 0.83 seconds to cast.
Command 2 is crit 50% as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so she can crank up.
Mm-hmm. Next up is Guy's Gigantax. 6-hit AoE, Imperil Earth. It's pretty much... The entrance is an upgrade of Gaia Drum. But I think this one's new, so I have no idea what it does.
So, point of order on this axe, it's actually an Earth booster, so another thing that's on an awkward weapon for people to get boosts from.
But again, point of order, most Earth users can use axes.
Can use an axe, yeah. So Command 2 is 2 hits, Dark Bargain, standard booster thing. Command 1 is 4 hits to 1 target. However, the multiplier increases with the user's attack, so it's Earth Omega Drive. So...
Hold up, my brain stopped there for a minute. The Command 2 is Earth Omega Drive?
No. Command 2 is the AoE Dark Bargain, but Earth-based. Command 1 is 4 hits to 1 target with Omega Drive function. The higher your attack is, the more it does.
God damn. Well, that'll do a lot of work if something is weak to... Well, wow, if something is weak to Earth, if only it had something that would... Oh, wait.
Yeah, this is, as someone pointed out in the chat, this is the exact same as Cloud's BSB 2.
Yeah, except instead of in element, it's Imperil element.
Yeah.
Also, something I wanted to call out, just because to amplify how good it is on the chicken knife. Right now, we have a 4-hit water and fire move. We have a 4-hit wind in snow spell strike. A little bit harder to hone, but it does exist. Eventually down the road, we do get a quad hit earth single target spellblade. So, once that rolls around, that chicken knife is even stupider than it is right now.
But it's not like Bartz has any sort of earth-based burst.
What the? So, the Great Sword is another one of those Bartz bursts that are exactly the same as the other one, except they swap out the element. It's 8-hit, single target Earth, in Earth. Command 2 is 2-hit AoE. Command 1 is 4-hit, single target. He gets a fire one of these down the line, too.
He's got a lot of these.
Like, Bartz is the only character in Japan that has 5 fucking BSBs. I don't think any other character has 3.
I think so.
Maybe they just started giving a third to people, but Bart's definitely had 5 before anybody else had 3.
I think Locke is starting to catch up to him in terms of sheer, like, bursts or relics and stuff, but I could be super wrong on that.
Oh, yeah, relics easily. I think Locke, like, if you have all of
he's got
Locke's
11.
stuff, you can do, like, plus 100 attack to Locke.
It might be higher. It's stupid.
Yeah, but anyway.
His burst is called Latent Power. But these are Earth and Wind commands. So they don't have a non-elemental component attached, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, Earth, Wind.
That's weird.
The first one is Sundering Spellblade, which does 4 single target attacks and grants Spellblade plus 15% for 2 turns to the target, so it's a bit different than Scott's. And the other one is 3 single target hits and grants, I'm pretty sure it's the attack up resistance down buff.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm kind of curious about this right now, and I don't know if anybody in the chat has experimented with this, but since it's Earth Wind, I wonder which chase strike it would trigger off of Chicken Knife.
Whichever one would do more damage, probably.
Yeah, it would probably be Earth normally.
Again, Earth. When the Earth Wind goes off, it'll pick which one does more damage. And if you're in a chain, the one that's going to do more damage at like flat damage is going to be whatever one's in the chain. So,
yeah,
it works.
Next up is Maria's Rune Graven Bow.
This one's really good.
It's good, super old, but still really good. It's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's super old. This is like really old. This is one of the first mage breaks that came out. Bursts. But it's a 6-hit single target Earth non-elemental with an Earth attached to it. Command 2 does a AoE 2-hit Earth Fire. I'm doing this off of memory too. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Earth Fire with, I want to say, mag resistance bargain.
Probably.
It's a mag boost and a defense of some sort down. And then command 1 is your standard 3-6 hits Earth damage, mattering on your mag, except the cutoff for 6 hits is extremely low compared to other ones of this type. I think everybody else
is higher than hers.
Yeah, is over 1,000 at some point, and I believe hers is like 900 something.
It's right below it, but yeah, this is the easiest of the 3 between her, Adia, and Pap to hit. But hey, she can tag 2 elements with that AoE, and there have been a lot of fights that have been either weak to Earth or Fire, and that's been very useful to do.
Pretty much.
Also, having a 6-hit Earth magic caster is very powerful.
Pretty much there have been a bunch of really annoying Sid missions, or just fights in general, for FF2 that you can literally just roaming warrior this and handle pretty well.
Yeah, if you have this, you can beat the Hydra. She can be your only damage dealer and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it does so much damage. Up next is Rydia's Zephyr Tail. 5 hits AoE Earth, magic in Earth. Is this one new?
No, this is old.
I have no idea what it does.
It's Mournful Cry. They're both Earth non-elemental things. The first command is 4 single target hits of Earth. Command 2 is 2 group attacks of Earth.
All right. So
however, it's an N Earth for a summoner, so you use this in Titan and you're in business.
Yeah. But still pretty standard. I'm actually know a lot about this next one. Gladiolus' War Sword. The burst is called Tempest. It's a 6-hit AoE Earth non-elemental in Earth. Command 2 is a 2-hit Sentinel. And Command 1 is a Guardbringer-esque move. It is 3 to 5 hits mattering on your defense. This does a lot of work. It really does. The weird trade-off of it is, unless you're getting 5 hits, the Command 2 actually always does more damage than the Command 1. But if you can actually get that 5 hits, which with a Sentinel and Protect isn't too hard, yeah, that Command 1 will do a lot of work for you. Excuse me, a lot of work for you. That's it. Does that boost anything? I think it might boost something in realm.
I believe it does. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It's his OSB that does some weird stuff.
Alright. Next up is Ursula's Master Fist. It's a 6-hit single target, earth, fire, physical attack, and in earth. And I'm not too familiar with this one.
So it's the 5-star Crimson Palm, which you just got to say every so often just because it's funny. Both the commands are earth fire based. The first command hits 4 times to one target, but it has the ninja speed on the cast time, so it's very potent to be able to spam that a bunch. And the second one is gives her the Dance of Carnage buff, and it's 2 single target attacks. So use the second command to get that crit boost, and then you just start wailing away with command 1.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a problem with being earth fire, not having a non-elemental component, so keep that in mind.
And you said both the commands are earth, fire?
Yes, both commands.
Alright. Well, moving on to Ingus's Aegis Shield. Is this the Taunt Retta one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's another one of those oldie but still really good.
Yep. The entrance is a 4-hit AoE Earth non-elemental that gives him an attack defense plus 30% in Earth. Command 2 is a 2-hit Sentinel. Command 1 is a 2-hit Retaliate. So he can taunt Retta just with his BSB, which allows you to bring...
You'd be amazed at how much damage he can pump out with just that burst.
Yeah, the fact that it gives him an attack 30% on top of it means that he can be pretty self-sufficient. You don't really need to bring him to a physical party for him to do work with that move.
Yeah, my team against Hydra is almost entirely magic-based, and he's self-sufficient. He pumps all that stuff out and then uses Guy across and hits for 20k a round. Mm-hmm. It's not great, but it's something.
The only downside of it is, since the in-earth changes your attack command, you know, like your standard attack command to be an elemental strike, his counter doesn't turn into an elemental strike.
That's okay. The important thing is it gives him the ability to counter when he normally would not be able to. Oh yeah, this command is going to be phenomenal with Earthbringer. The 4-hit move for the Knights.
5-hit, but yeah.
5-hit, you know, that thing.
Oh, no. The standard version is 4 hits. Eventually gets a buff to be 5 hits.
It might come out at 5. We don't know, but it's coming. It's close.
Yeah. And then the 2 legend materia. One's for Tifa. Starts the battle in Earth. Pretty good for a monk. And better if you have anything for her.
So that armor for Tifa is an Earth booster. That is the thing I want most on this banner, is just an armor that's an Earth booster.
Yeah, that'll do a lot of work.
So much work.
Galoof's Kempo Gi is a chance to dual cast monk abilities. I believe Galoof is... No, wait, it's the Earth Banner. What am I even fucking saying? Well, actually, Galoof does have an in fire. His BSB is in fire. Oh no, his BSB is in Peril Fire. Yes, it's in Peril Fire. I don't know. There's Earth Monk moves. There's Guy Rush, which synergizes pretty well with his in Earth. But I don't know why I'm getting stuck up on that. It's just dual cast Monk, and Flames Within is a move that works really well.
Yeah, his SSB2 I think is actually the end fire ability. So Shrug, Galoof's weird. He can tag 2 different elements, but the problem is that since he's focused on 2 different things and doesn't have the laser focus of someone like Refia or even Tifa, he's got an issue with being able to deal as much damage as them.
Yeah, that's his only downside.
He's weird. He does a lot of stuff. He's got 2 different elements, and also he's a buffer at the same time. Galoof does a lot of stuff.
Now, on a whole, I think Banner 2 is going to be strong for a lot of people because Earth is such a weird element to get coverage for.
Yeah, Banner 2 is one of the ones I'm definitely pulling on. Even though I have a couple items on here, like Maria's bow and Ingus's Aegis shield, I'd still pull for it, just because there's so many good items on there. I think the only real... I don't even want to call it a dud. I just think it's not like super amazing as Tifa's OSB.
Yep.
If you have other things for her, it's really good, but if that's all you have for her, it's not exactly amazing. But it's a 6-star item, so it's a stat booster, or stat stick in Realm, so take what you can get.
I kind of in the general agreement. OSBs are generally the low hits on banners for me. But anyway, let's move on to the Dragoon banner. Let me just make sure I get this lined up properly.
I thought the Dragoon banner was banner 4.
Well, this is the Wind and Lightning banner.
This
No,
is
wait,
wind
this
and water.
is Water. Water and Lightning. What the?
This is water and wind.
Water? Well.
Banner 4 is lightning and ice.
Alright. I'm not going to get this centered at all. So I'm just going to deal with cutting off banner 3. You know what we're doing. So. Tice's Double Edge. It is the water chain. And it's a very good water chain. Because it's 11 hits. And then quick cast 2 on the party. It'll get you started, and then your entire team just kind of dumps damage real fast. And because it's quick cast, you can easily just have him go first, and then have everybody else use their soul breaks after him.
Yeah, this is incredibly useful. I don't think it might not be the best chain, because the next one might be the best one, but boy, does this set you up to do a whole bunch of damage in a hurry.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of the next one, Zax's Enhanced Sword is Wind Chain with attack plus 50% and party high critical. So everybody's crits do more damage. What's that?
So I both love and hate this chain. I love it because it makes physical wind teams deal an enormous amount of damage. I don't like it because it doesn't give any buffs to people like Alphanod, or as I call him, Al, the wind magic users, because they're not going to get that 50% boost to a hit. Which stinks, but take what you can get.
Yeah, well, that's mainly the fault of there being there's not a lot of wind casters. There's 2 plus Emperor, who is just weird.
Yeah, you got Fujin and Al, pretty much.
That's it. Those are your wind casters. Yeah, aside from that, you're not going to get a whole lot of anything out of wind magic-wise. Maybe when they add Arrow in blue magic, 2 years down the line.
At least 6 at this point.
Yeah, and they add more wind casters to synergize with that. You're not going to see a mage-based wind limit chain at all. Like, I will fucking go on the record in saying that you will not see a wind limit chain until they add, like, Arrow or more wind casters.
Okay.
Up next, though, we have Kamari's Bright Armlet, which is attack, mag, resistance, plus 30%, which is fantastic on its own, and a 75% water radiant shield. Now, I think we've had these before. In fact, I think we just had one in the past 13-2 event.
Mm-hmm.
But what these are the radiant shields that reflect, that the damage they reflect is elemental. Both a blessing and a curse. Because in a fight where something is weak to that element, fantastic. They'll deal more damage than a normal radiant shield. And the fact that this comes with an attack mag resistance buff on top of it is perfect. If you're fighting a boss that absorbs water, though,
go somewhere else.
Yeah, that attack magic resistance buff is kind of canceled out by the fact that whenever that boss attacks, it will be healing itself.
Yeah, so I think there's no better way to put it. It's one of those, I want this, but at the same time, if this is all I had on Kamari, I'd be a little hesitant to use it because I don't necessarily jive with the rest of his skill set. But this is a great, like, roaming warrior thing for the very limited amounts of roaming warrior we're going to have.
Somebody in the chat says the rest of the chains are being added in Extreme Fest in Japan, newbie. I mean, my point is just that you won't see a mage-based wind chain. Like, I'm sure that there will be more chains and everything, maybe more different wind chains, because I think Zac is the only wind chain still to date. I just don't think there will be a mage one, because fucking almost nothing synergizes with it.
Yeah. Now, Kamari is useful if you have some stuff for him, but base Kamari is not someone I'd use just for their skill set. So if you had this and maybe some other thing just so you can do something else, probably. Maybe I might just be a little jaded against him because when he first came out, he was really bad, and now he's much better.
He's decent because he has Dragoon. The weird thing is that they're making him super water-based, and he doesn't get abilities other than... No, there isn't even a water Dragoon move. He doesn't really get abilities that synergize that. Unless he has Shooter, I don't even know if he has Shooter. I doubt he has Shooter, but if he has Shooter, that's some real dumb shit.
Again, it depends on what you have for him. I don't think he's a character that by himself would be excellent, but if he had some other things via like his burst and a different ultra, legend materia and stuff, something like that. In any case, let's move on from Kamari.
Well, there's Force Stealer.
Do we even need to explain this one?
I'll do it just for completion's sake. It's Ultra Cross Slash. It's 5 hits, Wind Dark. Critical, 100% chance. EX mode, you overstrike now. It breaks the game open. That's about it.
Yeah, the game's still recovering from this hitting the game.
They will never adjust for Force Stealer. Because they can't. That would ruin the economy of the game.
Adjusting for Force Dealer is, hey, you know what? You can't use Roaming Warriors anymore. Don't worry about it.
Which they started doing in hard content, so yep, that checks out. Yuffie's Spiral Shuriken is a 6-hit AoE, water non-elemental ranged, instant cast, so which comes out, imperils water. Not sure what the commands on this are.
This is making its debut on this banner.
And that would be why I don't know what the commands are.
And the burst is Doom of the Living, which I think is her 3-1. I could be wrong about that. It's one of her limit breaks. But the command 1 is called Mirage. It's 2 single hits and gives Blink to the user, which is, really good. And the second one is Affluence, which is a ranged attack. Note I said that, and gives a Smart Ether 1 to the user. So it probably goes to the lowest ability. I don't know.
No, that's what Smart Ether means. Yeah.
That is?
Yeah, it gives it to the lowest use ability.
Yeah, and it also, both these commands are at ninja speed.
Yep. So, easily meant to synergize with the new thief moves, or ninja moves, that, play off Mirage and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and those abilities have some crazy multipliers, so...
And if you're going to get even dumber.
Yeah, if you can get the physical blinks up on her, just let her go. Mm-hmm. She will do some work.
Yeah, by the way, for reference, what I mean, I think the current moves, the ninja moves go from 2 to 4, mattering on your blinks. They're eventually going to be 3 to 5 to 7 hits. People have referenced Yuffie, who gets double cast ninja, I believe, on her dive, as a character that you could very well dive having nothing on her.
Yeah. There are a couple characters from 7 that you can dive with having nothing on them, and they can do some serious work.
Anyway.
Hey, it's Cloud again.
Hey, there's Cloud. Ultima Blade is... What is it? It's called, like, Cyclone or something like that?
Yes.
It's a 6-hit entrance, single target, in wind. Command 2, I believe, is a bargain.
Yep.
And command 1 is wind, elemental, Omega Drive.
Yes, but both commands are wind non-elemental damage, so you can pump this out in any situation to be useful.
Yep, extremely useful.
I've got this. This is really powerful. It's the exact same command-wise as Guy's Axe was, but this gives an element while the other one was Imperil Earth. So, differences.
Yep. Speaking of wind casters from back then, Alphanod's Veil of Wiyu.
Man, this is old. It's still good.
It's old. It's 8 hits, single target in wind. Command 2 is a Smart Ether. Command 1 is 4 hits, wind, non-elemental, and quick cast, magic. You could eventually, in a couple months, when he is, just having his BSB is reason to dive Alphanod. Because his dive gives him boosted summon damage which his command 1 deals, and command 2 is chance, or legend materia 2 is chance to double cast summon, which is his command 1. Alphanod single-handedly, single-handedly on the 7 Torment dealt 75% of the boss's HP. It's understated how much damage this move can do.
So, Alphanod, via his commands and stuff, he can keep up with Sid Reigns in terms of damage. The difference between him and Sid Reigns is that Alphanod has wind non-elemental damage on his commands, while Sid is Holy Dark. So pick your poison. Both the BSBs they've got are very powerful.
Also, the difference, furthermore, Sid isn't very self-sufficient, having 2, 3 if you bring Memento Mori, magic buffs on his own self. Alphanod gets an in-element.
Yeah, so again, they're both great. You can fight over which one is the best for a long time, but either way, they're both excellent.
And a big thing to note is that because the command 1 gives quick cast, you can quick cast into his burst.
Yeah, and just keep the cycle going.
Yeah. Oh hey, look who's back.
It's Bart's again.
It's Bart's again. It's Bart's, baby.
Just every banner
also,
have Bart's.
Also, thank you for the follow. So this is a carbon copy of the Earth one. It is a 8-hit intro, 2-hit AoE on the command 2, 4-hit single target on the command 1, except it's water instead of Earth.
Is it? I thought Woken Water had the weird steel mechanic on the first command.
It might.
Yeah, command 1 is called Smash Dive. It's an attack 40% down for 20 seconds on the target, with attack 50% up on the user. And then command 2 is hit him a whole bunch with Spellblade type damage.
Okay, so that was before they started just making them carbon copies, because I'm pretty sure the Wind and Fire one are carbon copies of the Earth one.
Yeah, so it's good. Shrug.
Yep, it's there. It does water damage.
Man, if you're up against a water weak boss and you've got this in his USB, it's dead.
Yep. So speaking of mages, Fujin's Shin Chakram, which is like True Chakram. It's a weird fucking name. 5 AoE wind, non-elemental. It's instant cast. It comes right out. And does AoE mag resistance down 40%. I have difficulty telling you with the burst. No, wait, got it. One command of the burst is a resistance breakdown, and that's
command 2.
Yeah, and then the other command is 4-hit wind with ninja cast time.
Yeah, they're both ninja cast time.
Nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good for a caster. It's good for wind damage. If you have Alphanod and Fujin, both of the things, they are the Wombo combo that just kind of go together so nicely.
I do have that combo. It's very good.
Go
ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, this is my Earth Magicite team. This is them too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, same boat. Hey, have you been wondering why I've been real quiet about what are getting elemental boosters on this banner? Well, this is it. This is the only item on the banner that gives an Omni's Synergy elemental boost. Keep that in mind.
they are very hesitant to give out wind boosters because of how stupidly overpowered Cloud is.
Yeah, also, there's no water booster on this banner that's not record synergy locked.
Yeah, like, I think there's one wind boosting sword out of Realm, and it's owned by Dorgan.
Sword, maybe, but there's a couple other, like, spears and stuff.
Yeah, but Cloud can't use spears. They're
Yeah,
very
who cares?
hesitant to give a wind boosting sword. Because they
Yeah,
don't
there's
want
a bunch of daggers, though, that are wind boosters, though.
That's fair. So, edges. Mutsu no Kami.
I think you got it.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's 8 single target, water non-elemental, in water. I got no clue what these commands are.
Hold on, there's a lot of different things that have edge in the name, so I need to find it. Alright, here we go. Edge. Seething Waters. Command 1 is Water Barrage. It's 4 hits. Command 2 is 2 AoE hits. They're both at ninja cast speed, though.
Alright, so it's very standard damage, but at ninja cast speed. That's fair. That'll do work for you. Coming up next, though, you got Titus's Twilight Steel. Does that have water boost in Realm?
Titus's thing?
No, the Mutsu no Kami.
I don't believe so, no. I think the only thing on this banner that's water-based that has a boost in Realm is Titus.
Which, speaking
Titus
of which...
is CSB.
Oh, his CSB. Alright. Well, Twilight Steel is a 10-hit single target, physical, ranged. Gotta emphasize that. It comes out instantly. Gives them an attack defense plus 30%. Instant cast 1 to the user as well. I think my alt has this, but I could not tell you what the commands are on it.
So it's Sonic Strike is the burst's name. Since this is BSB2, Command 1 is called Dash Shot. It's 4 single target ranged attacks to one target with ninja cast time. And the second attack is called Invigorating Shot. It's 2 single target ranged attacks to a target and grants Sharpshooter plus 15% for 3 turns.
And both commands are sharpshooter types.
Yes, and they're both water non-elemental.
Good. Yeah. So it's very good. It synergizes super well with itself. And then... Sorry about that. And then it synergizes really well with Sapphire Shot. On a whole.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it does a ton of stuff, but this is a really good BSB.
Yeah. And, oh, this doesn't in element. I thought it did.
No, his BSB 1 in elements, but this does enough other stuff that it's okay. Like, it gives the attack defense 30% buff. That's close enough to the end element.
Up next, Zack's Runeblade, which is pretty old, but not bad.
Yeah, if I was going to pick anything on this banner that's kind of the stinker, it'd be this.
Yeah, just because it's old. But
yeah,
that
it's
said,
not bad. It's just
still 8 hits, wind, earth, for whatever reason. Oh, actually, I know why. Because it's meteor rain. But it's wind, earth, 8 hits, random targets, and imperil wind.
Yep.
The
commands are
standard.
4 hits. Yeah, 4 hits, single target, 2 hits group. However, the cast times on these are very small. It's 0.6 seconds for each, so he can bust out some damage.
It's because they're celerity typed.
Yeah. So he goes. But the commands are both wind non-elemental damage, so don't think that the commands also have an earth attached to them.
Yep. It's okay if you get it. I wouldn't aim for this, but I think it's pretty good on its own.
Yeah. It's not the best ever. If you're looking for wind and perils, it's not the best ever. I think a couple of the other ones do pretty much the exact same thing, or better. But he's fast with it, so he can pump out some damage. I just think compared to everything else on this banner, it's not as great.
Chat says they're actually faster than a normal celerity command.
Yeah, it's like 0.6 seconds.
Yeah.
It's fast.
And then we have the 2 legend materials, which are pretty wordy. We have, when using ninja abilities, there is a 25% chance to grant the user physical blink 1. Again, Yuffie's whole gimmick is that she really wants to use those 5-star ninja abilities. And then Zack's Shinra Beta Plus is, when using celerity, a 50% chance of casting a single target wind physical attack, which is whatever. Like, it doesn't wow me.
So Vanille has something like Zack's Shinra Beta Plus, to get a little off topic, where it's a 50% chance if she heals someone, she does a single target white magic attack that has an a defense resistance break on it, and that's useful. But it's just like, eh.
I could say at least it could contribute to the wind
chain.
The wind chain.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I just wish Celerity had moves that wowed me a bit better. It has Dervish, which can do work, but like Power Chain is there. Like, that's the only reason I get excited if somebody has Celerity, because like, ooh, they get Power Chain access. Not because ooh, they'll be able to do a bunch of damage.
And I was wrong. It's not healing for Vanille. It's any white magic spell. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, sorry to go on a tangent about that. It's just sometimes you get weird Legend Record materials and you just want to see how they do things.
Yep. Okay, that is true. Strider points out that his BSB commands are Celerity typed. And I just said that, so you think I would have remembered that?
No. What are you talking about? It's not like you're been on air for 2 hours.
Hey, usually it takes 3 hours to get really fucked up.
It's okay.
Either way, yeah, so there's some synergy there. It's just, I always like to look at these in a vacuum, just based off the skill set of the character without any breaks. Without anything, this is really mediocre. When you start to get a couple things, it gets better, but bleh. Yuffie's is fantastic, though.
Yes. Man, if you had that and her BSB2 and you were trying to get some physical blinks up to do those ninja commands, that could get nasty in a hurry.
Yeah, hold up. I clicked out of a window and now I am lost in all my fucking windows
right.
that are open here.
While he's getting that set up, Phase 4 is lightning and ice, folks.
Hell yeah, that combination. You know it, you love it. Lightning and ice?
Sure.
Machinist?
Yes, you got it in one. Also, I think Shooter. No, Shooter doesn't have lightning yet.
Shooter, I don't think ever gets lightning.
That's why I said yet.
Okay, starting off at the top, your boy, Kane's Lance. It is
You just want to hit a whole bunch of times.
Yeah,
Do you want to start up a lightning chain?
It is a lightning chain that does fucking nothing else but hits 22 times. It doesn't seem as impressive as, say, like the ones that's like everybody gets quick cast, everybody gets 100% crit damage, until you realize that so a chain, when you activate it, gives the party 20% more damage. That's it, flat. With a 22 hit on top of that, you are adding an extra 22% on that 20%, or an extra 10% on top of other chains, normal chains, because I want to say Zack is the only chain that doesn't actually hit.
Yeah. For now, I don't know. I haven't looked at any later chains.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to rack my brain, and I don't think there's any other ones that don't hit. The point is, this gets you started real well. And if you have his BSB and build up 2 bars and go into this, ooh, now we're getting somewhere.
Oh yeah. It's a good startup. I think if I was going for like the best chain ever, I still think I'd like Titus's more than this, just because Quick Cast 2 for everyone is
Titus sets up
stupid
the rest
strong.
of the party really well.
Yeah, but this is a great like lead in, like, okay, you deal 42% more damage with lightning moves now. Have at it.
Yep. Snow's Unsetting Sun, which is a great name, is an 11-hit single target ice that does Ice Chain and gives the entire party 2k stock. So it's an ice version of Warrior
Something
Glaze.
we're going to see in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's good. There's just no better way to put it.
It's good. It starts up an ice chain. They needed a physical ice chain because the ice chain right now was Renoa. And there aren't really as many ice physical as there are magic. but that scale's starting to tip.
There's a couple more. What's his face? Sarah's buddy from 13-2. He's
Noel.
a ice physical type. Yeah, Noel.
Only on his USB.
I'm just saying, he's getting there. Snow himself is an ice physical type. There's a bunch of people who use shooter ice physical moves. And there's also someone we'll see in a little bit as well from 8 that is also an ice physical type.
True,
but
true.
You did bring up the point, though. What if I don't want to have a physical ice chain, newbie?
Well, then you have Renoa's Conformer, which is a 11 single target ice summon that activates Ice Chain and Quick Cast 2 on the party. So, goddamn.
Yeah,
Yes.
so remember I was talking about that quick cast thing? There you go.
It's a ice version that also deals summon damage of
Which is nice.
Shantoto's chain.
Yes.
And then if you had a lightning chain going and you wanted to just blow something up with it, well then baby, you got Lightning's Razor Carbine, which is a 10-hit lightning non-elemental physical attack, quick cast 1, and flash, which I know it does something more, so I'm going to have to check this little sidebar real fast. Okay, yeah, it does plus 30% attack, but then also if you use a lightning move, it gives you quick cast. So, go to town. You have to diver to it, but diver to 5-star Spellblade, give her Thundering Quad Strike, and just go to town.
Yeah. She doesn't need anything else if you dive her and you've got this USB. She'll do fine if you need to do lightning damage.
Good night, Squirrel Tokens.
Yep. Good night, people who are stepping out to go do other things. That's fine. You're just dead to me. It's okay.
God.
Oh, it's high quick cast, by the way, on that flash, so it's 1/3 cast time.
Oh, okay. Up next is Lena's Rune Staff, which is literally on this banner just because it does bar ice.
Not a big fan.
Nope. I think the bar elemental stuff and elemental stone skins, which is another thing that has been established, might be one of the weakest mechanics that they started attaching to Medicas. And they wanted to try something different with Medicas, and instead gave them something that makes them very specific.
But it gives her actual, like, standard healer burst stuff. Like, Command 1 is instant cast, restore, a whole bunch. And it also gives a mine 30% for 25 seconds to the caster, or to the, I think it's to her. Might be the person it's on, I don't... Yeah, it's a Courage level, I think, heal, and it gives a mine 30% boost, which is, great. And then she's got the standard Medica on Command 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the burst is called Tender Mercy. Command 1 is Tycoon's Mark. Command 2 is Care for Life.
Yep, it's okay. I really don't like the bar ice. It makes it pretty much a heal that does nothing else on entrance. Because
and the mind boost is to whoever she is targeting, which I got confused because her burst 1 actually gives her the mind buff when she uses it.
Which that is good if you're doing stuff like, say, a fight that does stop or a fight that does status effects, and you want them to not have that status effect faster.
Yeah, I actually think this is kind of the dud on the banner. It's if you need a heal,
easily.
Great, but at the same time, not something I want.
Easily
if I get
the
it,
dud.
I'll be happy because I actually don't have a healing burst in 5. But at the same time, I'd rather get the thing that's either above or below this.
Well, that's because there's only 2 healing bursts in 5, baby.
Yeah, well, hey, but what's this thing below it that looks like a weird combination of a sword from 13 and 8?
Well, that would be Squall's Axis Blade, which is a 8-hit single target ice non-elemental physical attack in ice with a command 2 of Jarl Junction, which gives him a stock of 1 up to 3, and then I can't remember what the name of the first command is, but it does more hits and more damage mattering on how many times you have Junction.
Flip it. Command 1 is the drawn junction.
Normally the
2
Command 2 is the buff, so I just guessed.
Oh, that's fair. And the second one is Lowen's Roar,
Yeah.
which is the 4, 5, 6, or 7 single attacks with scaling damage based on how many draw injunctions you've done, and the scaling amounts of critical chance on it. Yo, this is dumb.
Yeah, as chat points, it's a USB disguised as a BSB.
This is probably the most damaging BSB in the game.
Easily.
If you get double cast on him, oh.
If it wasn't for the fact that, this was as broken of a command as it is, Ayame would be the biggest ice physical dealer. But, nope. Surprise, it's Squall.
I'm actually kind of surprised Ayame's not on this banner.
Ooh. Sorry,
anyway,
I'm
moving
hitting
along.
a tiny bit of turbulence in the internet. On the net. But we're good.
You're right. Hey,
Yep.
you remember when we talked about Maria and Pap in terms of their bursts? I wonder if we're going to see the third one, Newbie.
Well, here's Adia's Valkyrie. The entrance is 8 single target, Dark Ice, and then an In Ice. Command 2 is a 2-hit AoE that deals... is it Ice Non-Elemental or is it Ice Dark?
It's Ice Dark.
Okay. But it's 2-hit that, a mag defense bargain, and then command 1 is 3 to 6 hits, mattering on your magic, and I believe this is the highest cap, and you need something like almost 1,100 in order to hit that cap.
Yeah. It had been pointed out in chat earlier that Maria's cap for her Earth was like 1030. I think this one's actually it's either 1100 or a little over 1100. It's high.
Oh,
but the reason being that hers is so high.
If hers is 1,000, then this one's like 1,200 or something. It's like really high compared to Maria's.
It's pretty up there. But the point is, the reason why this one's the highest is because it attacks 2 elements. Even though she N-ices, you can still use this in a dark, weak enemy, and she'll do work.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. I'd rather have the non-elemental thing attached to it just because I'm paranoid about that. But man, if you need ice damage from a magic caster, this is very useful. However, unlike the other two, Adia can Memento Mori, which lets her get to that cap a little bit easier than Maria or Pat.
Yep, easily. Adia carries me through Fenrir every time I do it.
I've got Lulu, but that's Lulu.
Yeah, it's an extremely good burst. Up next is Desh's Avenger, which is 5 hits, AoE Lightning, and N Lightning. I believe Command 2 is a mag resistance bargain. Command 1 is 4 hits lightning with quick cast.
Yep. His command 2 is called Become the Lightning, which is just, it's a good name. It's a
good.
dumb name, but it's a good name.
It's good because it just sets up that Command 1 to be completely gross. It's more or less a lightning-based version of Reigns' BSB, except without the mag buff on it. But instead it has
mag
the
buff on the burst itself, but he has
in lightning.
Yeah, it's a very powerful burst. Obviously, since commands have gotten, or not commands, abilities have gotten a little bit better, it's not as powerful in comparison as it used to be, but you can certainly pump out a lot of lightning damage with this.
Oh,
also,
easily.
it was pointed out to me by someone, I forgot to mention, on Lightning's Razor Carbine, that is a lightning booster.
Ah, that's right. That's right, it is.
My apologies.
But yeah, Desh's lightning sword. I always forget that all of Desh's stuff is swords.
Yeah.
Is
It
really,
can be
really
annoying
good.
that that's a sword and not a rod, but whatever. You'll be fine.
It's really good at dealing a ton of damage.
The good thing about that sword, though, sorry, one last
Go
thing,
ahead.
is one of the other premier lightning users of magic lightning users is Ash, and she also can use magic swords. So it's nice that those two can work together on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, extremely. Up next is Shulk's Spear. That's it. It's just a spear. It doesn't look like a spear, but that's what we call it. 10 random lightning non-elemental ranged physical attacks, instant cast, and it has hyper break, or quad or quintuple break, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea what these burst commands are. I know I've seen
You're never
this
going to
before.
use them because if you're bringing her, you're using her for draw or wrath and trust because of her legend commands.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do actually end up using this, the burst is called Synaptic Net Dive. Command 1, which is Mage Mash Pierce, is a ninja cast, and it's a magic 50% down for 15 seconds. Command 2 is Debilitating Stab, and it's a mine down for 40% for 15
A
seconds.
mine lower.
Yeah, so useful. It's a support dive. But again, like I said, you're probably using her for Wrath and Trusting, but this is nice to use on the side.
Yeah. Having a hyper break there is really good, especially for any boss that does stuff like cast stop. Hyper break, and then the mind break will make that not suck as much as it usually does.
Oh yeah. There's a couple bosses coming up that have
Don't remind me.
Yeah, stops that we can't really deal with.
Lightning's Enkindler, which I believe is also a lightning booster.
I believe so.
Wait,
No, it is not.
okay, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Sorry.
Shulk's BSB is a lightning booster, by the way.
Okay. Well, this is 8 random targets with an Imperil Lightning. Command 2 is a 2-hit AoE. Command 1 is a 4-hit single target. Both fast cast speeds.
Yeah.
That's about it. It doesn't really do much else. I will say, because I own this, I can give that little piece of information to you, a unique interaction. If you have a way to in-element lightning, and you do that, or in-lightning lightning, and you do that before you use this, this will hit 80,000 damage, easily.
Oh yeah, it's dumb.
But, moving on, Renoa's Crystal Cross, which is a 8-hit AoE Ice, non-elemental, and in Ice. Why don't you give me a name for this one, because I love it.
Angel Wing Ice Shards.
God, what a dumb name. Anyway, explain this one, because I don't recall it.
It's fine. I'm going to go with Command 2 first. Command 2 is called Betrayal of Magic. It's a magic steal. It gives the enemy magic 40% down for 20 seconds and gives her a magic buff of 30% for 20 seconds. Command 1 is called Realm of Ice. It hits 4 times, and it has a stacking base damage on the hits based on her magic. If it's at 650, it does 2.25 per hit. At 1200 magic, it does 2.55 per hit. So yeah, if you can get her up there to the same level that Adio was at for her stacking thing, those 4 hits are they're gonna hurt.
Oh, no. I know that Angel Wing was in most of her limit break commands in 8. I just think that whole name together sounds really dumb.
Oh yeah, a lot of these names are really doofy, which is why we've been saying them. Some of them, it's like, this is, all right, you're going a little bit too far there on the, like, adjectives describing this thing, guys.
Yeah. But no, that's a pretty good pretty good ice mage burst, all in all. Coming up next, though, we got Kane's Abel's Lance. Kane's Abel's Lance.
Yep.
Anyway, not a lot on the intro on this. It's just 4 hits, AoE lightning, but it gives him Enlightening, which makes him one of the rare Dragoons that can Enlightening.
That by itself is worth it.
Yep. His command 1 is a 2-hit Blood of the Dragon, which means he gets no jump time on his jumps. And command 2 is, I don't think it's Smart Ether. I think it's just a normal Ether.
It's a normal Ether, you're right.
Yeah. So, generally, if you pull this, what you want to do is slap Lightning Dive on him and nothing else.
Yep.
At least for jump starts. If you're not doing a jump start, then you do have to slap Life Siphon on him.
It still works. The important thing about Abel's Lance is that it allows him to just be pretty self-sufficient in terms of pumping out damage. He can take care of recharging his own ability. He can be making it so that he doesn't have any lag time in the air. The not having the lag time in the air isn't that big of a thing in a lot of these huge fights because of the animations and stuff that take such a long time. But it's nice to have that as a backup thing.
The big thing is the Enlightening.
Yes. Again, like we said, it's just the Enlightening. I would probably use this even if it didn't deal damage. If it just Enlightening him, it'd be like, okay, let's go.
Another big thing to note, if you do get this, Again, some things I can talk more about because from experience, but if you do get this, you don't actually want to recast this as soon as you get it if you want maximum DPS, because if you're using this, he's generally hitting all 9s on Lightning Dive, so there's no reason to recast the BSB immediately, because it just deals 4 hits. So you're going to deal as much damage with Lightning Dive than you probably would with the BSB intro.
Yep. Also, a good thing about this lance, it's a lightning booster.
Yep, it's one of the great things about this, because there are so many Spellbladers that can equip spears.
When we had the anniversary thing like 3 months ago, this was one of the items on the You Pick banner. I picked this one up just because it's that useful.
It's very good. And then we got the Legend Materia, which is Squall in ice 25 seconds at the start of the fight. It's okay. Like, in a vacuum, it's pretty okay, because you can synergize it with Snow Spell and Frost Strike, I think it's called. You have any of his breaks, and it just gets way better. Well, any of his ice breaks. Yeah, there was a period of time when he wasn't ice.
I think this also, if you have his Ultra, which we don't actually talk about apparently because his BSB2 is far superior, if you had this and his Ultra, it could do some serious work.
Squall's an Ultra?
Yeah, that's the point.
No, like, I'm being serious here.
Yeah, he has an Ultra.
What does it do?
Well, hold on a second. I can pull that up because spreadsheets, as we put it.
Yeah. Look that up while I talk about the other Legend Materia.
Go for it.
The other Legend Materia is Shantoto, who just kind of snuck in on this banner with nothing but her Legend Materia. But still, not terrible. It's 10% chance to triple cast Witch abilities, which isn't fantastic anymore with the upgrade of Black Magic and everything like that. They really needed to improve the number of times that those moves hit or their multipliers. Because right now, like, the 4-star are good because they let you build up meter fast, but the 5-star moves are not worth it anymore at all. You're better off just using a chain spell than using the 5-star witch moves.
So, Brutal Blast, which is the name of the Ultra, is 9 single target hits. It's Ice 9 non-elemental, grants high quick cast 2 and EX mode C to the user, and man, it does things.
Right, the really bad EX mode.
And it gives a chase to every 2 spell blades. That's right.
Yeah, the chase mode that you're only going to get once.
It's one of those things where I understand why they did it, because they got skittish off of what happened with Cloud, but man, did they mess this up.
It's really bad. And, of course, Dina is so adverse to upgrading gacha items that they'll never change that.
No,
it really needs to be a chase on every hit.
Yeah, every Spellblade command.
And even if that's too strong, just remove some of the hits that the chase does.
Yeah, but just it sucks that this is kind of a cruddy Ultra, which is why when we were talking earlier about, it's not the best, it's not the worst Ultra, that was one of the Ultras I was thinking of, like, that's just terrible.
Yeah, there are some Ultras that are actually pretty bad.
And we poke fun of it. I mean, again, it's one of those things, if you have it, you'll use it, but whatever. By the way, neither of those Legend Materia records give a booster. There's nothing on this banner that gives an ice boost, which is kind of a bummer.
Ice is such a rare element. It just really is. Like, if you're not in 8, if you're not in 13, you're probably not going to find an ice ability.
There's Celeste. But I don't think she has an ice booster on any of her weapons.
Nope.
Because she's mostly a knight. The point we're trying to make here is...
she only recently became ice-based. It wasn't until her BSB2 that she became ice-based.
Yeah, and there's also Lulu in 10, but that's Lulu.
10 is mostly water, but it has a smattering of stuff in other directions, like fire and ice.
Yeah, Lulu's armor for the longest time, I think, was the only ice booster. It wasn't until the 13 event that's happening right now to date this, that we got some more ice boosting armors. I think we got 2 more.
Yes.
Yeah, Banner 1. If you need ice stuff and you're looking at Banner 4 and thinking like, oh man, for some bizarre reason I don't want to pull on this, look at Banner 1 on 13.
Anyway.
I really do think this is like the best banner of the set, though. I know. We're going to talk about that in a bit.
Strongly disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some things on there, but
It's the 3 legend, or not legend.
the USBs are really strong. That's fair.
Yeah, the key items on this one are really good, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah,
Anyway.
3 chains, 3 chains.
Let me
Go over to Banner 5.
Good
The Banner
enough.
5 that has the thing on it that I want to pull for, but I'm not going to because I got too many things on this stupid banner.
Good enough. This is Banner 5. So. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that, man.
I know, it's my fidgeting.
It's okay. Hey, do you need things for Seymour on this banner? No? Too bad, you're getting them anyway.
Excuse me. So, up first is Seymour's Staff, which is a 11 single hit, dark magic, dark chain, quick cast 2. Fantastic. Just good. Nothing bad to say about this.
It's the Dark Shantoto.
It's the Dark Shantoto, and hoo boy, are dark casters a dime a dozen.
Yeah,
Whoops. Well, I fucked it up.
it's okay. But yeah, if you need... This is one of those things like, oh man, it's magic based. What am I ever going to do with that? It's dark magic based. Oh yeah, there's a ton of them. Yeah, you can probably make use of this.
Yep. Just really good. Okay.
Have you fixed it?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay.
I know which one this is, but person who wrote this, could you please? This is the Warrior of Light's Ragnarok, which is an 11-hit, holy, physical, holy chain, 2K, party stock. It's good. It's good. It deals really good damage. The stock is really nice, and holy is very strong as an element.
It's a really good chain on a character that gets a ton out of having the chain itself. Some other people think like, oh, maybe the other people could be better to have this chain. Warrior of Light's pretty much the best person to have this chain.
Up next is Marsh's Burglar Marche, the Burglar Sword.
Hey, I've got this. It's stupid.
So it's a 10 single target, holy non-elemental. He in-holies with the EX speed combo. And I'm going to open up our little side table here so I can read everything that this fucking does.
So stupid.
It is a attack plus 30%, and if you use a night move on him, the entire front row gets speed cast times 3.
So it's the high quote-unquote quick cast for the front row.
So you know how Lightning went really dumb whenever she used the Lightning move? What if you can make the entire front row go really dumb every time one character used the night move?
And he'd want to use a knight move, too, because he's a knight. And he's going to be busting out holy attacks. This is stupidly powerful.
But newbie, I have much better knights, so I want to put stuff like Guardbringer and everything on them. Put Banishing Strike on him. It doesn't fucking matter what move he uses. You're making the rest of your party go stupid fast, and they don't even need to be knights. Your monk goes fast. Your support goes fast.
Your shooters in the front row go fast. It's a good point to point out, bad fun on my part, that it's only physical, a high quick cast.
That is true. It doesn't work for your mages.
His Legend Materia 2 is a Knight dual cast, by the way, so just let him go to work. You'd want him to be using Knight moves anyway.
Yep. It's really dumb.
I have his USB and his BSB, and I will fully attest, the kid can do some work.
If you're looking for a way to sub 30 Dark Dragon, Burglar Sword is a very good way to do that.
Yep.
But
I combined this with Agrias's BSB for just crazy amounts of Imperil, and they just shred him.
moving on, though.
Sorry.
Garland's Earthbreaker, which is a dark attack.
Earthbreaker. It's Earth, right? No.
It's a dark OSB, dark non-elemental OSB that does higher damage if you're hitting weakness. That's it.
Yeah, that's actually why I brought up Agrias. This is the dark version of Agrias's OSB, which they're really good. They're not going to be so great against targets that aren't weak to dark because they have a lower damage amount compared to other people that have just OSBs that deal non-elemental like lightning or whatever. But if you're hitting weakness, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But it's on Garland though, so
again, because they kind of fixed physical dark recently, in that you can easily combo one of the crosses. I can't remember if it's Sanguine and Crimson. I think it's Crimson. Combo Crimson with Dire Weapon.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Oh, it's actually really good.
But like, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm never too keen on physical dark.
Oh, and it's not that I'm not too keen on physical dark. I'm just not too keen on Garland because I look at other physical dark characters and go, but you could be them. But you're you.
But it's also Garland.
I know. That's the problem.
Great.
He looks cool, but you could be them.
Chris Sabat wants to knock you down.
God damn it. Moving on. Hey, back to Seymour.
Seymour's Guado ceremonial wedding attire. God. It's 8 single target dark non-elemental attacks, and in dark. This is his BSB2, which I think debuts on this, so I have no idea what it does.
Yeah, I think there's one item on each banner that's debuting for the first time.
Well, there's multiple. But BSB-wise, yes.
Yeah, BSB-wise is what I meant. My apologies. And this one is, the burst is called Guado Grudge, which, sure, why not? Command 2 is called Grudge of the Dead. It's a self-buff. It just keeps going. It grants phantom regen on the user and also gives them a magic bargain. And Command 1 is 6 single target attacks and damages the user for 35% of their max HP.
Crumb, what's phantom regen?
Man, I don't know. I'm looking it up now.
I actually know. Well, actually, say that Command 1 again. I actually kind of know what phantom regen is.
It's Desire for Ruin, and it's 6 single target attacks at a multiplier of 2.20 for each attack and damages the user for 35% of their max HP.
So, phantom regen is a unique regen. It doesn't overwrite other regens. It doesn't overwrite poison or anything like that. You use it and it's on him for a period of time. I believe it's like a 10% of his health regen or something crazy like that. You might want to look that one up.
I'm looking it up. I think it's something a crazy high like that. The thing is, 35% of your max HP every time you use Command 1, you are playing with fire with this.
That's the point. He has this crazy regen which stacks with high regen. That's the thing, like, because it's a unique regen, you could have normal regen on him too. And then he's healing an absurd amount of health each turn, passively. 15%, Chad says.
Yeah, Phantom Regen. The thing on there just says Phantom Regen, which is Phantom Light Regen. Thanks, spreadsheet. You're the best.
Anyway, it's 15% regen. The multiplier in Command 1 is ridiculous because of that health hit.
Oh yeah, this is like him using Adia's BSB2.
Yeah,
or not BSB2.
Instead, he doesn't have to hit a magic threshold. He just loses some health.
Yeah, a lot of health, but yeah.
And again, that's a 15% regen, and then, yeah, I want to say high regen is 5%.
Yeah, but high regen, it's a matter of how quickly it ticks is what I'm curious about.
I think it ticks at the same speed as high regen.
Oh yeah, then that's great. That's really good. You got to be paying attention, and you can't just like fire and forget it. Like once you have Adia's BSB up and running, and you're just spamming her C1, it's not too hard to keep her topped off and let her just spam damage and be crazy. This requires a little bit more like care to make sure he doesn't, explode, but it doesn't require nearly as much upkeep for him to just start like tearing through people, because he goes Command 2 and then he just starts going Command 1.
Apparently, he may or may not have dual cast Dark, Yeah, on his record legend materia.
Yeah, it's right there.
Speaking of the devil,
it's right there, guys.
Is dual cast dark, which if that procs on that command 1. Oops, 60 HP gone.
70.
Oh yeah, 70%.
It's 35%.
Math is hard.
Yeah, and it's max, not current. So good luck with that.
Anyway, it's a very risky play, and I kind of like that aspect of it. Mainly because he actually has a way to answer it. It's not like other dark moves where you don't have an immediate way to answer. He has a way to answer. It's kind of like Gefgerion's USB, where he drains on every one of his attacks, so he directly has a way to counter.
It's mentioned in the chat. It's got a 40% chance to drain on dark attacks. So, yeah, this is high risk, high reward. It hits really hard, but you got to pay attention because he might just kill himself.
Oh, his record dive is a drain? Yeah. Ooh, that's very good.
Yeah, again, it's one of those, pay attention, but if you have a bunch of stuff on him and if you invest in him, he can do some serious work.
All right. Rasmo, BSB2. The Kiyomori. It's an Inholy. It's Shout Plus. It's Shout with an Inholy attached to it. I, for the life of me, don't remember what the commands do.
So command 2 on this is Wrath, but it's Wrath Plus because it gives the same boost as Wrath does, but at the same time, it doesn't have the physical boost on it, so or the 3% attack boost, so you don't lose the Shout buff by doing it, which is, cool. And then this command 1, which is Warrior's Dance, it hits 5 times and it's holy elemental damage. It hurts.
This, if you like using Shout, you pretty much roaming warrior this from now on. And I saw somebody bring somebody like I think it was like a knight or something, and they brought Shelga and Dispel on them and just roaming warrior this and just use the commands on this instead.
Yes.
It's
the command 1 hurts.
It's really good.
Big thing about command 1 though, it does not generate any soul break gauge. So keep that in mind.
But if you're bringing somebody to do just, Shelga Dispel, you're probably not using their breaks at all.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind that you're not going to be generating the stuff while doing this. If you want to keep using Ramza just to have him use this over and over and over again, he's going to have to use some of those wraths.
So, two things. Two little things. One, up next is Rain's Metamorphosis Claw, which is the end-all, be-all Mage Burst.
Die in a fire.
It's not false, though.
What's the other thing, Newbie?
Where's the lie?
There is no lie. I'm so angry right now.
Up until this moment, I didn't know that the entrance had a higher multiplier if the user is doomed.
Oh, yeah. Never
knew that. I own this. I use it all the fucking time. Never knew that. Never fucking knew that about it. But yeah. 6 hits, single target. Higher multiplier if the user's doomed. Mag defense, 30% for the party. It is unreasonable to like disregard in any way how this is stupid based off the entrance alone.
Yep.
Like,
just the entrance alone would be good, but then you get to the commands.
So command 2 is a 2-hit AoE defense resistance bargain.
Yes.
Or no, magic resistance bargain. Command 1 is 4-hit and quick cast. Everything about this is Dark Holy. On top of this, Reigns can bring Memento Mori. Reigns, if you have this BSB, is a completely self-sufficient mage. You can slap him into a physical team, and he will do enough damage on his own without anybody else helping him.
Yep.
On top of that, if you slap him on a physical team, you go, well, the entrance, it's magic boost, it's also a defense boost. He's still helping out the party.
Yeah, it's instant cast, not quick cast.
Oh, right. Sorry. There is a difference. But yeah, so you're giving that On top of that, if you dive Rains, his Legend Materia 2 is chance to double cast Dark and Holy.
Yeah.
Which was literally made for nothing else but his BSB.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why slap the Holy on there? He literally can't use Holy moves.
Who cares? He's got this. By the way, the gloves are also a dark booster.
They're also a Dark Booster. And they're also a fist weapon.
Yep. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Seymour's chain weapon there at the top is also a dark booster.
Yeah, I figured. It's weird. Dark boosters are not hard to come by at all.
They're not. There's a lot.
But yeah, Metamorphosis Claws. Everybody who plays this game and really looks into the meta at all will tell you that Metamorphosis Claws is a fucking stupid burst. There's a lot of times when they release Ultimate, like Double Plus and even some Apocalypse fights, where if they make it Holy or Dark Week, you can seriously just build a mage team, so like Roaming Warrior Metamorphosis, and win.
Yeah.
Just bring a
look at
healer.
Newbie's videos. He's done this.
Yeah, just bring a healer, bring Shell Protectka, have somebody to cover and make sure your healers don't, your casters don't die, and you'll win easily. It gets a little rougher once you get to Apocalypse fights, but you can easily do that for any Ultimate Double Plus. Yeah, Sid Reigns, the super important character from Meta 13. Kind of, a little bit. I think he
Super important.
I think he became president at some point in that game.
Who cares?
But yeah, it's dumb. Up next is Warrior of Light's Illustrious Shield, which is 8 single target Holy non-elemental physical attacks in Holy. I know this isn't new, but I could not tell you what the commands are.
Well, the important thing about this burst is I'm pretty sure when he casts the burst, he just gets a giant shield and starts beating people to death with
No,
it.
specifically he gets a shield charges into him a couple times, and then grabs Sentinel Grimoire's shield and slams it into them.
Which is just fantastic.
It's a great animation.
So, even though this is kind of old, it is pretty useful. The burst is called Ultimate Shield, which makes sense. Command 2 is called Crystallized. It's 2 group attacks and gives the user 50% defense up for 25 seconds. Which is important because Command 1 is 1 to 5 single attacks on one target, scaling with their defense. Warrior of Light at 25, a little under 2,500 defense, hits 5 times.
Yep.
If you can get there, it's pretty much Guardbringer.
It's really strong. It will get outclassed once Guardbringer gets upgraded.
Yeah, to 5 hits. At that point,
Yeah.
Guardbringer is better than this, but it's called Stroke of Light, which it's a dumb name for a Command 1, but I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not world-breaking or anything like that, but it's still really strong.
Also, that is the holy boosting, the only holy booster on this entire banner.
But it's an armor.
It's an armor, though, and if you're using knights, you probably have a holy boosting sword.
Yeah, easily.
There's a lot of that.
There are a dime a dozen, easily. Anyway, coming up next is Golbez's Zeramis Shard. 7 single target, dark, non-elemental, mag, plus 30% and sentinel to the user. Here comes the Dark Knight Mage.
Okay, so, you ready for this?
Yes.
So Command 1 is Shadow Dragon. It grants Summon Shadow Dragon and Stone Skin 30% to the user. If he uses Command 1 again, he uses 4 group attacks at 4.3 multiplier each, and summons the Shadow Dragon to hit everybody for 4 times. And then you can keep cycling through that. Or you can go with Command 2, which is Glare Hand, which makes no sense. Glare Hand hits one target 4 times at a multiplier 2.55. Or, if you have the Shadow Dragon summon on it, it hits the target 4 times at 2.55 each, and heals the user for 20% of the damage dealt. That's dumb.
Yep. So he taunts, he magic lures with the Sentinel, and then he can heal himself.
And then just drain tanks.
Yep. And you can put him in the back row. He doesn't lose any damage. Mage tank. They somehow made a mage tank, and I love it. Not to mention the fact that Golbez can equip heavy armor.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I should mention. If you use Command 1 again, you lose the Shadow Dragon Summon. If you use Command 2 again and again, you don't lose the Shadow Dragon Summon. It sticks around. It's a lot like Garnet. And who else did we have earlier that was like this? Was it from 10, Yuna's father, Vraska? It's like that. It's the Command 1's kind of a toggle ability, and then it just stays on until you either use it again or you run out of the burst.
Yeah, it's Summon Strike.
Yeah.
A lot of people are familiar with that at this point, but yeah. Okay, up next is Marsh's Cuirass.
We've had a couple of these.
I know, but I love it every time it happens.
Uh-huh.
It's an 8 single target, wholly non-elemental physical attack. Attack in mind plus 30% to the party. Enter burst mode.
That's really good. It's really useful.
Mm-hmm.
It's an attack mind booster, which they're very rare. I think there's only one other one, I think, in the whole game. So it stacks with a lot of people. It makes your healer better at what they do. It's a holy hit. And then his commands are, it's called Knight Combo, which, man, if you played the original Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, the animation is almost like exactly the same from the Knight Combo and that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Command 1 is Saint Blade. It's a 3-hit, grants the user Knight 15% boost for 3 turns. Command 2 is Saint Shield, 2 single target attacks, grants Sentinel to the user for 25 seconds.
Combo that in the Guardbringer, and you have a good BSB right there.
Even if you don't have his USB, that is a very powerful BSB. I would seriously consider investing in Marsh if I picked that up.
Oh, getting to the end of the list finally. Coming up next.
No, we're almost there, man.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Shadow's Koga Blade, which is instant, 7 AoE, dark, non-elemental physical damage, in dark. Then I don't know what this does.
This, I think, is one of those things that people were really excited to see because it was great for clearing things out.
Oh, right. Is this the thing that it does? It has a two-hit AoE command?
Yeah, the Command 1 on this is... Nope, is this Shuriken Storm? This should be Shuriken Storm.
Koga Blade.
It's for Shadow, though, yeah, right?
Yeah, 7-hit AoE on the entrance.
Yeah, it's the burst is called Shuriken Storm. Command 1, this might not be right, is 4 single target attacks, and Command 2 is 2 group attacks. They're both at quick cast, and they're both dark, and
that's what I was thinking.
Non-elemental damage.
The Command 2 is 2 AoE.
Yeah.
Pretty standard, but the fact that it instants on the entrance is really, really nice. And then in darks, which combos really well into those ninja moves that we've been hooting and hollering about a little bit during this.
A couple of them are dark, I think.
Yep.
I always thought this had it flipped, like Command 1 was the AoE and Command 2
no,
was the...
they, after a bit, except for that one time when they messed up with Tifa, they don't put the AoE on Command 1 because people would just auto.
Yeah. Also, I think Cloud's Command 1 on his BSB 1 was auto.
Yeah, that's
AoE.
what I meant. Like, they did it on the first one and then went, oops, and didn't do it ever again. Except for Tifa that one time. Anyway, Orlando.
Wait a minute, that doesn't say Orlando's cloak.
Yeah, they fucked up. 10 random holy dark physical attacks. 3.7 second, 75. Second charge time. 100% chance to instant death. Plus 30% attack. Plus 50% defense to self. Burst mode. I own this. I can tell you what the commands are. Well, I'll say the commands. Maybe I'll change my opinion.
Yeah. It's one of those things that... Sorry, I'm pulling it up. Let's see if I can spell his name. Swordplay. So, the burst is called Swordplay, like I said. Command 1 is Steely Swordplay. It's 4 single target attacks, and it gives attack and defense minus 20% for 15 seconds to the enemy, because why not? That is holy and non-elemental damage. Second command is Dark Swordplay, which is dark and non-elemental. It's 2 single target attacks and heals the user for 20% of the damage dealt. So I think that's what Dire Weapon used to be.
What are the cast times on those commands?
3.3 seconds. Yo, they're slow.
That's the reason why I don't like Orlando's Burst. It seems very strong until you realize that it takes forever to do anything, and you will probably get 3 casts of the burst commands off before you run out of burst mode.
Unless you have his good buddy Marsh sitting right next to him with his USB.
In that situation, it is pretty good, but like, I think it is one of the things that I like the least about Orlando.
It's one of those rare things, might be unique actually, where if you have Orlando's OSB, you go from OSB into his BSB, and then it can do some stuff. But frankly, if you have Orlando's OSB, just start spamming OSB, man.
There you go. There's the point. The BSB is very underwhelming. They tried to balance it by making everything take longer, but I think in that regard, they made it way weaker. They made it too weak.
Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, We're down to our last 2 Legend Materia records.
Which we already talked about. One of these, Seymour's, is a 25% chance to dual cast Dark abilities, which can cause problems with his BSB too if you get that.
Cause problems, cause you to murder, details.
Very, very solid even in a vacuum because Dark casting is very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Warrior of Light's Crystal Helm is attack plus 3% every time he's hit, up to 35%. Very good in the long run.
I should mention Seymour's Legend Materia record, relic, I keep doing that, staff there is a dark booster, as are Reigns' we already went over this, Golbez's BSB. I forgot to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 5 boosters on this realm, 4 elements, 4 dark, 1 holy. It's a good banner.
It's a pretty good banner.
Like, I don't really think, save for maybe Orlando's Cloak, I really don't think there's any kind of thing on here I would be like, oh man, I'm kind of disappointed I got this.
Hey, Chrome, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Now that we're done all 5 banners before we finish our final thoughts,
What's up?
can you vamp for a bit? I really need to go to the bathroom.
Sure, why not?
Thank you.
No problem. That's what I'm here for, folks. So, I'm going to give my opinions on these banners before he gets back. They're all good. That's how what it boils down to. I'm a little disappointed that banners 2 and 3 don't have many, or not banners 2 and 3, 3 and 4 don't have elemental boosters for water or ice. I know that those are very limited, but since this is the big elemental gear banner or banner set, it's a little disappointing that we don't have Omni Synergy water and ice items on here. However, the power of those relics in general makes up for it, so I really don't care. Yeah, everything Newbie said is wrong. No. I think if you're going to pull on these banners, look to see how many things you've got, and then look to see if there's anything on here you don't want, and make decisions from there. I have a couple things on Banner 5, which is why I'm not going to be pulling on it, even though I really want Reigns' gloves. So that's a bummer, but if you skip the Final Fantasy Tactics banner that was a couple weeks ago, the highlights of that Banner 1 are right here. And this is a really good banner to pull on if you need some holy stuff or you need some dark stuff. Yeah, I know, but however, the problem with Banner 5 is there's a lot of things on here that have been really important things on previous things, so you probably have a lot of dupes, so keep that in mind. Other than that, if you're like me and you're looking for specific fire boosters, Banner 1 is very useful. However, there's a 6 banner coming up in 5 or 6 days that has a lot of very powerful fire boosters on it, so I might look at that before I actually pull on Banner 1, depending on what you have and such. Banner 2, if you need Earth stuff, that's the place to go. So there's a lot of very powerful stuff on there. There's also the chicken knife, which isn't even Earth-based, and that's excellent. Banner 3... Banner 3 is a lot like Banner 5. There's a lot of highlights on there from things in the past, like Fujin's Chakra, Alphanod's Veil, Cloud's Ultima Blade. There's just a lot of stuff on there that you've probably picked up in the past that might cause you not to go for Banner 3. Also, Banner 3 only has 1 elemental booster on it across the whole board. That's Omni Realm, and I am not a big fan of that. That being said, I'm still going to pull on it because I want Titus's chain, and I want a couple other things on there.
All right, I'm back.
I know, I heard you come back. And Banner 4 is great. I love it. I gave my opinions, which was everything Newbie's about to say is wrong.
Accurate. Never wrong. Always correct. My weird thing is, like, I hate ranking the banners.
I just said they're all good.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. Like, we're at the point in the game where there's no such thing as, like, a bad relic. It's rarer than pulling a USB. But, like, this is really a factor of what dupes do you have? What elements do you need? There are the rare occasions, like, Banner 1 is very magic-based.
Yes.
There is the bit of physical mixed in there, but there's, like, you know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mage-based things on it. And then most of the fire-based things are very, outside the chains, are very self-sufficient. They're not party buffs or anything like that. Banner 2, you know, it's Earth. Extremely physical-based, with a little bit of magic mixed in there. But very much monk, especially. Like,
yeah, well, most of the Earth users are monk.
Yeah, Guy is a little mixed, because I think Guy's a knight.
Guy's got stuff. Let's not worry about Guy. If you get the thing on Guy's banner, you're going to be using him for that sweet burst.
Yeah. 3 is obviously your Speed Boy banner, and also very physical based. There's very little magic on this, and it's wind. There's no water magic on this.
There aren't that many water mages.
Yep. Also accurate.
There are a few. I mean, you've got Rydia and Gogo and Strago, but the majority of water types are physical.
And in that regard, again, Banner 4 is extremely physical based.
Got some stuff on there for a few things, but most of the stuff, you're right, is physical.
It's Adia, Desh, and Renoa. That's it. So there's one. Well, sorry, Lena. I forgot. The one healing thing that's snuck on any of these banners. But there's 1, 2 if you want to count Lena. 3, 4.
I don't.
5. There's 5. And then the final banner is, I think, the most mixed one, because everything dark, except for Garland, is magic based, and everything holy is night based. So if you are looking for specifically, I need physical or I need magic, there's your breakdown there.
Shadow's blade is dark, and it's physical.
Okay, look.
I'm just pointing it out, man. There's a little bit of a spread. And Reigns does holy and magic, or holy and dark magic. So he goes both ways.
So really what you need to look at on these banners is, what do I need elemental-wise?
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. Or you could just be like me and pull on every banner.
Yeah. Now, there is something that someone pointed out that I pointed out while you were not here. There is a 6 banner, FF6, that's hitting in 3 or 4, well, next week. And it has a lot of fire things on it. So take a look at that banner before you pull on the fire banner and see if there's things on there you want. Like, I think Terra's USB is on there and a couple other things. So if you want stuff for Terra, look at that, because Terra is absent from this fire banner. And that's pretty surprising since she's Miss Fire.
Mm-hmm. Probably because that event was rolling around.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't want any overlap at all.
Also, you know, Banner 1 also has Locke's random holy boosting dagger, because why not?
All in all, that's the banners in review. There will be one other specialty banner that comes out during this. We get the 3rd music event during Festivus here.
Yeah, that hits on the 1st, I believe.
Yes. So that exists. I don't know if there's anything that would wow me on that. It's probably decent, as they've been making they've been reworking the music banners to be pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't tell you what was on that, and I'll probably talk about that when I do a video for that.
Which will come in sometime.
Yeah. But for now, that's been your extra long fucking 2-hour banner review.
It's been fun.
Oh, these are always so draining whenever I do these.
Yeah, that's why I suggested I should come along for this one, just to give you a little bit of a break.
Yes, thank you very much, Crump, for coming along and giving some extra advice and helping me out, because you gave me the burst commands and everything. So I went.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I guess. Same thing. 3 months from now.
Yay! We'll see.
That'll be the 3-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,